It's December, it's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, but hopefully I've got something today to help warm up the mood slightly. Because in a couple of weeks I'm launching a brand new book in a new series, a new genre with no audience. So I really want to hit the ground running, which means getting as many positive reviews on launch day as possible. Now, to do this, I'm going to need a review team, and in today's video I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you how to set up all the tech to make this super easy. So let's jump in.
Where do we go when everything feels like it?
And welcome to today's video, a slight departure from usual today, because I want to have a very specific look at one thing that you can do that makes a huge difference when launching a new book. So if you've watched any of the previous videos, we're going to be developing some of the ideas we talked about regarding the reader funnel. So getting a reader from one place to another using as much automated tech as possible. And today I want to focus on building a review team. So as you might know, my first ever sci-fi novel is coming out in January. It's currently on pre-order. This is going to be my first ever sci-fi novel, new series, new genre, new characters, and I don't have a built-in audience. So it's very, very important for me to grow a review team ahead of that launch so that I can really hit the ground running. So today we're going to focus on how to build a simple funnel to get people onto your review team. So focusing on the people who are most likely to really enjoy your book and the most likely to leave a review as well. So it's going to be some relatively simple tech, and most of it is free and you can get started without having to pay anything. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Let's jump on over to the computer. Okay, so the first step in any funnel is really getting somebody's email address. So this is the important part, and that all starts with a landing page or a sign-up page like this one. So when I'm growing a review team, I want to make sure that I'm getting high potential people, I suppose is the best way to kind of define it. You don't just want random people who are after a free book. You want people who have demonstrated that they like the genre that you write in, they like your style. This is another reason why I want this landing page, because I am going to email out to everybody on my fiction list, and I'm going to say, if you enjoy sci-fi, I've got this new book coming out. If you'd like to be on the review team, go fill in this form. So I want to give them a couple of hoops to jump through just to kind of demonstrate that they're interested. So on this page, for example, I give a quick overview of the story at the top here, and then a button where people can click and they can join my review team, and then I will send them the book for free. And then underneath there's a bit more detail about the book, and I'm repeating the main call to action at the bottom. So the cool thing is that when this is clicked, people can enter their name and their email address, and they'll be added to my database. And that's relatively simple, and that's all completely automated. Any email marketing program from MailChimp to MailerLite, ConvertKit, GetResponse, whoever, doesn't matter. They can all do this. But then what we want to do is go one step further and give them what we call an onboarding sequence. So these people who are joining your review team, these are the people who are likely to become your super fans. So these are the guys who are going to read and review and buy stuff from you in the long term. So we want to make sure that we treat them right. So a little onboarding sequence is going to make a huge difference, especially when you want something from somebody like a review. You want to make them feel special. You want to give them a bit of attention, and building an automated onboarding sequence can make a big difference here. So I'll give you an example of one that I've built in ConvertKit, which is a fantastic email marketing program. It costs a little bit more than some of the more basic ones, but it's very powerful, it's very easy to use, and you get this really cool graphical kind of automation builder so that you can see quite easily what's happening. So up here, somebody has just filled in that form, and they are added to my list as a subscriber. Then in the next step, they are tagged in ConvertKit. So I tag them with joined my exit protocol review team, so I know who they are. So when the book is released, in a few weeks' time, I can go up here to broadcasts. I can write an email saying, hey, the book's launched, the book's live, go leave your review, here's a link, and I can broadcast it to everybody with that tag, but not to anybody who doesn't. So that's a really simple way of segmenting people out. So those people in your review team, you want to make sure they're getting different messages to other people. After they've been tagged, I immediately send them an email that's delivering the ebook. So they've joined up, they've signed up to my review team, I've tagged them, and then they get an email saying, thank you for joining my review team. Here is the link where you can go download the book, and that will send them back to my website where they can get a copy in EPUB format or Mobi format or PDF format. And I'll show you an example of that. I'm in the midst of setting up Exit Protocol today, but the page is going to look a bit like this one. So imagine this with the other cover on there, so that cover on here. What it'll have is a button here where people can click download, they can choose the device they're on, and then they'll get a set of instructions. So depending on what device they're using, they can get different instructions. So a Kindle tablet is different from a phone, is different from Apple, is different from Android, is different from Nook, all slightly different instructions to actually get the ebook file onto their device. So my website has this built in. An alternative to this is BookFunnel, which is a great online service where they provide this service and a lot of extra features. And that's very, very cheap as well. I think that starts at about $20 a year. So that's really, really simple to do. So you want to be able to deliver the ebook to people when they join your review team. And then what I do, go a little step further, is after 2 days, ConvertKit will have a look at these people who have joined up, and it will see whether or not they've clicked the link in this email to go and download the book. If they have clicked the link, they'll get another tag. So the tag will be downloaded book. So if they've clicked that link and they've gone to the download page, they will have this tag, and it will send them off in this direction. So it will be a little email saying, thanks for downloading the book. I hope you're enjoying reading it. If you have any feedback, just reply to this email and let me know. So this is a great opportunity to catch any kind of last minute typos or anything that you might have missed, that your editor or proofreader might have missed. It happens, and get some kind of early feedback, hopefully positive. And then these people who email in with their feedback, you can then reply back to them and thank them. And then these people are going to be much more likely to leave a review because you've kind of had that personal interaction with them. And that makes a huge difference. So when people feel they're talking to a robot, it's very different to when they feel like they're talking to a real human being. So that makes a big difference. So that's really cool. And then if they haven't got that tag, which means they haven't downloaded the book, then I send them a reminder email here. So I'm just saying, hey, I've noticed that you haven't gone and downloaded the book. Are you having any issues getting it onto your device? Is there anything I can do to help? Just let me know. And that's just a little follow-up email to try and get those people back into the sequence again. That's very, very simple. So we've got basically someone will receive 2 emails. One will be delivering the book. Another one will be either reminding them or thanking them for basically reading it. And that's a really, really simple onboarding email sequence that you can use. And then when the book is launched, all you need to do is head on over to broadcasts, and you can send out an email to everybody who's on this review team asking them to go leave a review. So here's a little tip as well, is when you send people to Amazon, here's the Exit Protocol on Amazon, currently on pre-order. I'm probably going to fiddle with a couple of things on this page ahead of the launch, but it's going to look something like this. It's going to go live early January, so people can't buy it yet, but they can pre-order it, so people can't leave reviews until the actual launch date. So when you send out your email, one little tip is look at the link. Now, what you really want to do is remove anything that's not directly related to the link. So when you look at a URL, you kind of want anything after the ASIN number. And this is the ASIN, which is like a ISBN for Amazon. And you want to just remove anything that looks a bit funky. And the reason for this is Amazon is very good at figuring out where its traffic is coming from. And it also has a bit of a reputation for stripping people of reviews if it thinks you've got any kind of relationship with the reviewer, or you've coerced them or incentivized them in any way. And even though that's not the case here, you are allowed to send out pre-release copies and review copies, and you are allowed to ask for reviews. But just to be on the safe side, what we want to do is give people a completely bare link. So we want to remove any of that nonsense and just end up with this. And I think you can also remove some of this stuff here as well if you want to, but also just check the link actually works. So here we go. So this is the cleanest link that we can find, and that's what we want to give people, because all that kind of gobbledygook at the end is tracking code. And if Amazon sees that a load of people are going to this book and leaving a review, and they've all got this tracking code, the same tracking code, they're going to raise a red flag, and possibly you might end up getting some of your reviews stripped, or your likelihood of getting reviews stripped increases. So one very simple tip is just to strip out all the nonsense from your link, copy that, and then use that in your broadcast. So you can send people to that page. So that's there. Then you've got your Amazon page set up. You may not be on pre-order. If you're not on pre-order, then just send this email out once your book has gone live and you can get the link. If you are on pre-order, you can get the link now, so that's no problem at all. And then you can just build something a bit like this in your marketing system. So if you're using MailerLite, it's quite similar. MailChimp, the setup's different. It's a bit more of a linear kind of step-by-step system, but you can still do this. Any mailing list provider can do something exactly like this. So as long as you can tag people so you know who they are, or segment them, or put them in a group, then you are all good to go. And that is a very, very simple onboarding sequence that's part of the reader funnel that we've discussed in the previous video. So getting somebody from where they are now, which is they haven't read this book, they're not on your review team, they're not going to leave a review, to the point where they have joined your review team, they've read your book, they love it, and they want to leave you a review on launch day. That's where the funnel comes in. So getting them from point A to point B using this relatively simple tech setup that all works in the background. And this is an example of a very simple funnel. You can get more complicated with these, and the whole principle is you want to be able to scale this. So when you're using automated tech like this, it doesn't matter whether you have 5 people joining or 5,000, it all works the same, and you can scale this up using cross promotions. You can email out to your list if you have one already. You can use paid advertising. There's lots of ways of driving more traffic to the top of the funnel, which is here where people join, and then you end up with more people running through the sequences, and then more people leaving reviews, or if it's a sales funnel, more people buying. It all depends on how much traffic you can get through the top end, and that's really where paid ads will come in. If you're looking to scale up quickly, you'll want to use paid advertising like Facebook ads, Amazon ads, BookBub self-service ads is another good way of doing this as well, driving people straight to the book, depending on where the reader is in this funnel, whether they are kind of hot leads or they're cold and you're trying to warm them up. There's lots of different ways of going about it. And this is what we're going to be focusing on during a free workshop that I've got lined up for you very, very soon. We're going to be looking at how to use the concept of the reader funnel and paid advertising to drive up your results and scale profitably. So if you're struggling with advertising or you're not sure where to begin, then this is absolutely for you. Check the link underneath this video and we will get you registered. It's completely free, and if you can't make it live, so long as you register, we'll send you the replay as well. So that's a very simple funnel, something that you can implement in a couple of hours and will make a massive difference when you next run a launch. So just to finish off, we're going to head back to the office. And that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to get more like this, just make sure you hit the subscribe button underneath my smiling face and hit that notification bell. It'll tell YouTube to recommend more content like this, and you'll get a little notification whenever I put out a new video. And if you'd like to join us for the free workshop that's coming up very, very soon, we're going to go through how to use reader funnels with paid advertising to really scale up your results profitably. So if you'd like to come along live, or if you can't make it live, if you'd like to get the replay, make sure you join up at the link underneath this video. But that's it from me today. Hopefully I'll see you all again very, very soon.
Where do we go when everything feels